And Israel is reportedly using mobile phone tracking to find and kill important Iranian military and nuclear figures. The IRGC-affiliated fast news agency has reported that mobile phone tracking technology is being used to carry out assassinations inside Iran. And well, to talk more on what is happening on ground, we are now being joined by Trent Murray from Tel Aviv in Israel. Hi, Trent. As of now, what is the on-ground situation as both Iran and Israel continue to attack each other? A short while ago, Iran claimed to have hit Mossad training facility in Herzliya. Tell us more on that.
Yeah, that's right. I think there is a little bit of information warfare at play here because certainly Press TV, the Iranian state media organisation, when they made that announcement, posted a photo of what purported to be a fire at a building. Now, that photo was not, in fact, of Mossad. It was not even in Israel. It was an old photo of a motorbike fire in China. So it's a good case study, I think, of just how cautious we need to be around the information that is being shared around this conflict. We do know that there was an Iranian ballistic missile attack a few hours ago. We certainly heard the explosions here, both of the interceptions as well as several impacts on the ground. What the IDF is saying is that there is no reports, according to ambulance service here, of any casualties or injuries. We are seeing Israeli media showing the impact sites of some of those missiles where they've seemingly landed in open field areas as well as a bus parking depot of some description. There was the empty bus seen on fire. So certainly this was a smaller wave of missiles than what we have seen in the past. We are being told, as I say, only around 30. That is dwarf in comparison to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where it was in the hundreds. Some are starting to question here whether perhaps Iran's missile launching capabilities are now being depleted. Are there sites being attacked where they store them? Are there launch sites being targeted by the IDF? But the official government advice remains to not worry about any of that right now, to keep an eye on where they need to go if there is an air alert. Some estimates here suggest there's still thousands of those deadly ballistic missiles within Iran's hands.
Right, Trent, Iranians had earlier warned Israelis to evacuate if they want to survive. What is the mood amongst the Israelis at this point of time, and how fearful or anxious are they of what perhaps comes next?
Well, I think that evacuation order from the Iranians potentially was designed to try and sow some sort of panic here in Israel, but it certainly hasn't had any effect from what I have seen. The streets are open here, several businesses are open, and people are getting on with their day. You have to understand there is a high degree of almost civil training here within the Home Front Command. Everybody has those early cell phone alerts on their mobile phone. Those sirens will sound if there's an incoming missile, and of course there are many shelters, both in residential buildings like the one I am in, and also public shelters like underground railway stations and schools and car parks. So I don't think Israelis per se will take to those warnings with a degree of panic. They know that they are on a war footing here, but in many ways they are somewhat accustomed to it. I think particularly since the October 7th attacks and the subsequent conflicts and skirmishes that we've seen during this period.
Right, Trent, stay with us. We're just getting some breaking news at this point of time on the newscast. Breaking news coming in at this point of time. UN nuclear watchdog says there appears to have been direct impacts on the underground part of Iran's Natanz nuclear site during Israeli attack. Trent, the news coming in is that the IAEA has said that there has been direct impact on underground Natanz nuclear facility there in Iran, which we do know that it's Israel's top agenda to destroy Natanz and further nuclear facilities. But what can you tell us on this?
Well, I'm just hearing that for the first time, but I'm not surprised by that announcement from the UN nuclear watchdog, because certainly what I've been hearing here in Israel is that the Israeli Air Force has been heavily targeting that Natanz facility, a crucial piece in Iran's nuclear enrichment research and advancement options towards a nuclear weapon. The site we really have to keep an eye on, I think, though, is another one called Fordel. Now, that is considered the most important facility for Iran's abilities to build a nuclear weapon, and it is heavily fortified under hundreds of meters of concrete buried deep within a mountain. Now, the Israelis are not thought to have the armaments, the bombs, strong enough in order to be able to bust through that facility. And that is why I think you are seeing some movement from the United States here, because it is thought that it's only the Americans that have the bombs large enough, those bunker busting munitions, in order to be able to penetrate deep into that mountain and hit that facility. We are hearing refueling aircraft, according to flight radar data here from America, are now making their way to this region. We of course heard President Trump cut short his visit to the G7. I think as we go into the evening here, we potentially are reaching a crucial new point, with very real questions starting to be asked about whether the Americans may be willing to join the Israelis. Certainly so far they're saying that they're not, but also President Trump's language is changing. He's now directly calling for Iran to surrender.
Right, Trent. Thanks very much. That was a correspondent, Trent Murray, joining us live from Tel Aviv in Israel.